and it's my honor to invite Aryan Khimani, a grade 11 student from Toronto, Ontario. He is an emerging tech innovator and Gen Z trailblazing entrepreneur. Aryan has a passion for disrupting biomedicine through AI, and Aryan asks us today, did curiosity really kill the cat? Join me in welcoming Aryan.
I would like to start off my talk by asking you guys a very important question. And I want you guys to raise your hands to answer this. How many of y'all seen Tom and Jerry? Come on. All right. When I think of Tom, one phrase comes to mind. Curiosity killed the cat. But here's the plot twist. Cats have 9 lives, right? So now he's down to about 8. Dying didn't bother him at all. Doesn't it seem a bit unfair that they get multiple chances to live, to be wild, to be curious, while we're stuck with just one shot at life? But why should they have all the fun, huh? Imagine if we could live like that. Now, obviously, I can't grant you 9 lives, but what I can do is remind you how to live each and every day so that it feels like you do. Realizing that in one life, you could do more than what Tom could ever do in 9. How? Live each day with boundless curiosity. One of my fondest memories from my childhood was a result of following my curiosity. As a kid, I could hardly recall a time when I wasn't outside, fully embracing being a child. When I was outside, I noticed something strange. That strange thing was a lot, and I mean a lot, of tipped over trash cans. So, as a diehard fan of the Wildcats, I knew those trash cans were clues, and I was ready to solve any mystery that came my way. So I scoured the area, I did my research, and I Googled every single clue I could find. And after weeks of investigation, I found the culprit. A family of raccoons. Simple, right? In that moment, I felt an overwhelming sense of satisfaction and joy as I realized I cracked the case. But it wasn't just the discovery itself that brought me so much happiness. It was the entire journey. I was filled with so much excitement every step of the way. Now, that's a fun memory, right? Might have made you smile or feel nostalgic. But how many of us would actually follow the clues if we saw those same tipped over trash cans today? How many of us would actually find the raccoons? We might wonder about it for a second or two, but then what happens? Our priorities take over. Why don't we realize that being curious is an essential part of being human? Curiosity isn't just something nice to do, it's a fundamental aspect of what it means to be human. Let's take, for example, this gene. It's called DRD4. It has been linked to curiosity. Being curious is quite literally in our DNA. Studies have also shown that infants exhibit a preference for novelty, eagerly seeking out new experiences, expanding their knowledge of both themselves and the world around them. Let's take, for example, when you start babbling or exploring your vocal abilities. It's because you're wondering. You're wondering, what's that sound I'm making? And what else can I do with this thing called my voice? So yeah, curiosity is the reason you were able to speak your very first words. Curiosity is something that's encouraged in children, but yet we let it go as we grow older for more meaningful pursuits. I'm no exception. That once eternal flame became a very tiny spark. Last summer, during a surprisingly hot day in Toronto, and I'm saying it's surprisingly hot because we don't get many of those in Toronto, I was just idly scrolling on my phone. Normal day. And then a thought crossed my mind. I wanted to know how my phone actually works. I mean, I use it for almost everything every single day. It's essentially a pocket-sized computer. I could use my phone to launch the NASA space shuttle, Apollo 11, the one that went to the moon, and I could land it with more accuracy than they did the first time. Yet, I knew next to nothing about how my phone actually works. So you know what I did? I immediately talked myself out of it. It wasn't even that hard. I was like, why bother, right? I don't need to know any of this. It's probably a waste of memory space. I could be doing something way more important. And just like that, in a split second, my curiosity diminished. But here's the scary part about that story. I can't tell you what exactly I replaced it with that day. But what I can tell you, I let that moment slip. That question, I'm still wondering how my phone actually works. It's still in the back of my mind, unanswered. Curiosity means we're embracing learning with no inhibitions or preconceived notions. It means being open to possibility, growth, and enrichment. Essentially, we become better. Curious people are healthier, we're more empathetic, we do better in school, we have stronger relationships, and generally, we're happier. But being curious isn't just about personal happiness either. Our world is evolving at a rapid pace. Curiosity is more crucial than ever before. Concepts that seemed like a distant dream just a couple of years ago, like artificial intelligence and genetically altered humans, are now tangible realities. Remember when we first met Jarvis in Iron Man, and all of us were like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. It would make my life so much easier. Or when we watched Jurassic Park. When I watched that movie, I was like, what if dinosaurs came back to life? Well, today, Khan Academy has developed a prototype AI assistant available for all students. It may not be as advanced as Jarvis, but it's just the beginning. In 2027, a Dallas-based company named Colossal is going to bring back the woolly mammoth. Imagine the possibilities. For things like this, we need to start thinking about a variety of different topics, such as data bias, human interaction, and ethics. But most importantly, we need to stay optimistic, because it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Have you ever thought about what you'll be doing once you graduate? I have. Predicting the job market of the next 5 years seems like an almost next to near impossible task. Being curious equips you with the ability to navigate the unpredictable terrain of the future. So then why does it feel like curiosity just fades away? Well, it's simple. As you grow older, you start to think you have less time, and thus you prioritize your immediate emotional fulfillment over the intellectual exploration of curiosity. See, every time we ignore our curiosity, we're making a choice. Unconsciously or consciously, we're training our brains. We're telling it consistently to ignore our curiosity. Then that will become our new habit. Because our brains are highly adaptable. They rewire themselves based on our experience and behavior. So, what's the good news? You can actually retrain your brain to cultivate and appreciate curiosity instead. It's like when you're out of shape. You can exercise your muscles to bring them back. You can do the same with curiosity. How? Well, it's simple. Just start by being mindful of the moments of when you are actually curious. Instead of brushing them aside, embrace them. Ask the questions, seek out answers, and embrace being curious in being human. There's a famous quote by Jimmy Buffett that goes, "Life is more manageable when thought of as a scavenger hunt as opposed to a surprise party." See, in life, you only get to the destination once, but you live the journey. The real magic happens along the way. The transformation, the growth, the learning. Curiosity makes it possible for you to truly enjoy the journey. See, when you're along the journey, that's when you become the best and happiest versions of yourself. And that's something we often overlook. When we're actually truly enjoying the journey, that is when you become the best and happiest versions of who you can be. I started my talk by saying curiosity killed the cat. What I didn't tell you is that satisfaction brought the cat back. Because it's not about how many lives you have. It's about how fully you live each and every moment of this one precious life. Thank you.